All right, welcome into our episode 4 of our double coverage podcast. Like always, my name is Mason. I'm with Alex. Today we're going to start with football again. So the first thing I want to talk about today is the news of the Ohio State and Texas game. So, like we mentioned in the previous podcast, Big Noon Kickoff has it. It's a noon game on August 30th. So Ohio State evidently has been in touch with Texas on moving the game to prime time, and it came out that Texas has denied moving the game to prime time, which only means one thing: they're
They're
ducking.
ducking.
They're
Yep, they're
ducking.
ducking.
They're ducking. Now, at first, I didn't know that they were trying to move it to Sunday, but what's the big deal?
Yeah,
So,
I don't think that's a problem at
I
all.
mean, they seen that Ohio State Tennessee game in the playoffs and are like, nah, we don't want it.
They scared.
Yeah. So if I was Ohio State plays in Austin next year. I'd say no. Let's make it at noon. You guys can't come up here in prime time. Why would we bother coming down there at prime time? You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
no, I agree. It definitely seems like they're kind of scared. I mean, obviously we may not know everything.
Mm,
There could be, I guess, an underlying issue or something, but I don't know. I kind of agree with you. Um, from a non-Ohio State fan perspective, I do think that it just seems like they're kind of either trying to duck or they're scared or I don't know. I mean, yeah, you guys definitely have a scary team. Obviously, you guys
yeah.
just won the chip. So it's like, yeah, you guys definitely can be kind of scary, but no, I agree. I definitely feel like they're purposely avoiding this whole thing.
Don't get me wrong. There's not going to be any shortage of storylines. Like the Columbus is still going to be absolutely packed, whether it's at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, 3:30 in the afternoon, 6 o'clock in the morning. The place is going to be rocking. First game back at home after a national championship win. The place is going to be unbelievable.
Hmm.
But yeah. But like I said about the storylines, going to that, you have Arch Manning's first like game. Not
Yeah,
his first start, but it's his first. It's his first real like. Okay, this is my team now,
yeah, yeah,
and he's going. His first my team now experience is in Columbus. So we're gonna learn a lot about Archman, and obviously these two teams played in the semifinals last year. Ohio State pulling through with a Jack Sawyer scoop and score through the heart of through the heart of the South. I don't know if you remember the first through the heart of the South with Ezekiel Elliott and 85 yards on
yep.
Alabama, but now we got two of them. And then obviously Caleb Downs is coming back. Jeremiah Smith went for one catch for 3 yards against Texas in the semifinals, so I'm looking forward to see how he turns that around.
Hmm.
But then for Texas, here's what scares me being an Ohio State fan. Colin Simmons for Texas, who was a freshman last year, took the college football world by storm last year, dude. He was a freshman defensive end, and he was ridiculous. Now, obviously, he was held in check against Ohio State, but I don't look for that to happen throughout the entire game. He's going to have some presence.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Like you said, I mean, he was a freshman last year, and you know, obviously he, like you said, he took the what'd you say, the college football,
Yeah, by
uh,
storm. Yeah.
yeah, by storm.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think his ceiling's high. I think we can see a lot from him. But going back to Arch Manning, I feel like a lot of people were saying that Arch Manning could be a Heisman candidate this next season. Um, and we didn't get to see a lot from him this past season, but I do think that the Heisman candidate talks are real. I do think
Mhm.
he could win the Heisman, but if we see him play to his full potential, because like we know he can ball, right? I feel like
Yeah.
everyone knows that he can ball. If he has a Heisman, like a Heisman winner season, I
Mhm.
think Ohio State should be scared because if he comes out here and balls like he knows, like we know he can, I think the Texas Ohio State matchup is going to be crazy.
Oh yeah, yeah. Don't get me wrong. Ohio State lost a ton. They lost so many on defense. So they lost Tyleek Williams, Ty Hamilton, Denzel Burke, Lathan Ransom, Cody Simon. They lost Jordan Hancock. Davison Ignosin came back. Sonny Styles came back. Oh, they lost Jack Sawyer, JT Tuimoloau on defense, but then now they got Kenyatta Jackson and Caden Curry filling their shoes in the inside. Like the whole defensive line left, but they have Edric Houston and the McDonald guy. But I mean, obviously they're still gonna be solid. Ohio State, like any Power 5 program, they recruit people and they come up and they step in for. Now it's gonna be big shoes to fill with everyone that left, but I think they can do it. And then going to the offense, they lost a lot too. They lost their whole backfield. They lost Will Howard, Quinshaw Judkins. They lost Travion Henderson, Emeka Ibuka, G. Scott. They lost Donovan Jackson, Seth McLaughlin, like Josh Fryer. Like they lost a ton.
Yeah, it's tough.
But every position that has been filled in for, I'm very confident in. Obviously, the wide receiver core is doing their thing. Running back, I'm excited about James Peoples at the running back position. He was the third string last year behind Judkins and Henderson, so he didn't play much. But when he did, he's like a little brood out there. And then they bring in the West Virginia transfer, C.J. Donaldson. Obviously, the quarterback situation's up for play. I'm leaning more Julian Sayin. But, yeah, and then defense, obviously you got the best defensive player in the country in Caleb Downs. Just his presence at the safety spot just boosts everything. So, I mean, yeah, I think this is going to be an insane game. I'm excited that I get to go to it.
Yeah, so that is awesome.
It's going to be sweet. And back on your you talked about the Heisman thing. So I don't know why, but I was just thinking of like predictions for Heisman. I think the 4 are going to be, you're going to like this, I think it's going to be Jeremiah Smith, not in any order.
Yeah, yep.
Just the finalists: Jeremiah Smith, Drew Aller, Lenoris Sellers, and DJ Lagway. Lenoris Sellers is the South Carolina quarterback, and then DJ Lagway is the Florida quarterback. So we're up for a really good college football season.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It's obviously not saying this because Ohio State won a national championship. Just overall, last season was just legendary.
There's so much. I mean, like we saw, like just watching like players like Ashton Jeanty, he was so much fun to watch, and especially like he was so dominant, and like Boise State before that year wasn't like known for being good competition. Like I don't feel like Boise State was a team where, if like Ohio State or Penn State or whoever was playing them, it'd be like, well, we get a tough one today. No, but with Ashton Jeanty, he was just so dominant. He could break 5-6 tackles, and I'm just so excited to see him play in the NFL and see what he can do for the Raiders. Because the Raiders, I think, were like the worst rushing team in the league last year. So that's a good pickup for them. But yeah, there's so many studs in this last season that went to the NFL, and we still have studs that didn't go to the NFL that are still in the league, obviously. So it's like
this past NFL draft was the deepest draft that I've seen in a long time. But like even this year, it's going to be even crazier because all the freshman class in college football last year was unbelievable. You had Jeremiah Smith, Ryan Williams, DJ Lagway, Lenoris Sellers. Then you had Leonard Moore for Notre Dame. You had Colin Simmons at Texas. This freshman class, which we will get to see 2 more years of, like counting this year, it's going to be fun to watch, and I'm very excited for what I'm about to see this year. Yep. And also, going back to the Heisman thing, I apologize. I'm named all those players, and I didn't even mention anything about Cade Klubnik. This guy he's going to be a top 10 draft pick next year, most likely, if he obviously competes to where he can. But yeah, you can't sleep on him either. So yeah, I mean, do you have anything else about college football for now?
I don't know. I mean, obviously it's off season right now, so
Yeah.
not too much to talk about. But
Mhm.
yeah, no, dude, I'm more than excited. There's so much to look forward to, like you said. There's so many players that are going to be so exciting to watch, and so many matchups. Even like you said, the Ohio State Texas matchup. There's so many matchups. As a Penn State fan, I do have pretty high hopes for Penn State this year. Obviously, you know, last year our receiver core was kind of bad. We had Tyler Warren, but like our actual receivers weren't the best. But it looks like we've been working on that in the off season, so I am excited. I don't know. There's just so much to look forward to for this next upcoming.
Going on 9 in a row, baby.
Yep, yep. So, yep. Okay, yep. We can just move on now. Yep, we can just.
Give me an IO, buddy. OH.
No,
All
nah.
right, so yeah, that wraps up the college football portion. I just wanted to mention that because I thought it was pretty interesting.
No, it is
Just
for
the
sure.
fact that
Yep,
Texas
for
is
sure.
declining, coming into the
Yep.
shoe at night, which I can't blame them. But who knows?
We'll have
But
to
yeah,
see.
yep. So staying on the football side of things, we're gonna move into the NFL. Something that also happened over the past week. The tush push stays, which I love. I love it. In my opinion, I have no idea why, and I think it was just purely ridiculous why this was even a thing. Like if you there's been really never no one's ever really gotten hurt from it. The only people that get hurt from it is when these idiots jump over the line and like land on their head or something, but
Yeah.
there's never been really much injury to it. It's proven that the Eagles are the only team in the NFL that can do it. So just because one team can do it consistently doesn't mean you have to get rid of it for the whole league. Like, just go get yourself a quarterback that squats 600 pounds.
Yeah. No,
Or,
I.
yeah, so it's just.
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying. I do think, obviously there's two sides of this argument, and I think the biggest argument for the opposite side from what you were saying is that, um, defensively, you are not allowed to push players. You know what I mean? Like like a safety can't come up and push a linebacker or push a lineman through. You know what I mean? You're not allowed doing that on defense. And I think well, obviously, some people have other reasons. Some people just hate the tush push because it's so effective.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think an argument for that is that you if you're not allowed to push people on defense, then why are you allowed doing it on offense? I do think that's a valid argument, and I do agree with that. As a Cowboys fan, I am one of the people who cannot stand the tush push. I don't think it's fair to say, yeah, it should be banned just because it's annoying. Like, okay, yeah, they're good. Like, it's whatever. Like, if it's a good play, it's a good play. I do think the argument of you can't push people defensively, why are you allowed doing it on the offensive side of the ball? I do think that's valid, but, it wasn't banned, so I think this year we're going to see more and more teams attempting to do it and trying to find out ways to make it work.
Yeah. Because, I mean, it's clear that the Eagles are the only team in the league that do it.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
can do it. Like, I don't think they've technically gotten stopped once, but I don't really consider it a stop. I think it was against Washington. They did it from the 2-yard line and got to the 1. So I don't even know if I'd consider that even a stop because they gained yards from it. But I mean, I think that's the really only stop they've had from it. But I
Yeah.
will say there is nothing more deadly than going into the tush push formation and giving a jet sweep to AJ Brown or Devontae Smith. That's just a free house call.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like you said, the Eagles seem to be the only team who
Mm-hmm.
not only use it in general, but are effective with it. But yeah, like you said, there's so many ways you can be creative with that. And
Yeah.
after using the tush push so many times, like you said, you pull a jet sweep with one of those receivers, I guarantee you 8 or 9 times out of 10 they're taking that to the house.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, all my Eagles fans, I mean, I don't think there was any reason that this should have even been a problem to begin with. And I've gained so much more respect for 10 teams I'm about to list off right here. Besides the Eagles, the Baltimore Ravens, the Cleveland Browns are on here, the Detroit Lions, the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Miami Dolphins, New England Patriots, New Orleans Saints, New York Jets, and Tennessee Titans. Those are the 10 teams right there that declined the ban against the tush push, and I gained so much more respect for all those teams because, like, there's no reason. It's a quarterback sneak. If you here's the thing, it's so effective, and they know it's coming.
Yeah, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Right. So if you know it's coming, but you still can't stop it, maybe you should try another scheme for it. Rather than just complaining at the end of the year and trying to get it banned, just fix your defense. Put beefy guys in the middle. I mean,
Yeah, I
obviously-
mean,
Go ahead.
yeah, no, good. Yeah, I mean, I was just gonna say quick, if it is so effective and like, if you're playing the Eagles and you see them lining up and they make the tush push work every time they do it, I don't understand why more teams don't try it then. You know what I mean? Like, I understand, like, not every quarterback is built like Jalen Hurts, right? Like, obviously Dak Prescott is not built like Jalen Hurts. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not expecting him to do the same thing he does in that aspect. But there are teams that I feel like the Bills. Josh Allen is a quarterback that I feel like could make the tush push work.
Yep.
The tush push work if he had the right people around him. I just don't understand why people don't try it. Like, why not try it? You know what I mean?
I agree. I just don't agree with the whole situation on trying to get it banned or whatnot just because one team can do it consistently. But I mean, I guess that's just where we're at in the NFL. I mean, there's not been any injuries from it. There's not been, like, it's not a scary play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So everything about the play is legal. It's just the fact that nobody can stop it. I was gonna say earlier. So, like, you got the tush push, but so if you're gonna ban that, you might as well ban Lamar Jackson and be able to run the ball. Because when you play the Baltimore Ravens, that's even more annoying than watching a tush push.
Have Derrick Henry and Lamar?
Right. So, I mean, if you're gonna ban the tush push just because it works for one team, might as well ban Lamar Jackson running because.
Yeah.
So it's the whole situation is just getting blown out of proportion, and I'm happy they kept it in. I'm definitely. I know you might not be very thrilled, but
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
football aspect of things, the fan aspect of things, I don't understand why you'd want to get rid of it. It's a quarterback sneak.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like, throughout the season, playing the Eagles, and watching it happen, it is very frustrating. And in the moment, you're like, oh, I just wish they weren't allowed to do it. But like you said, at the end of the day, you have to take everything into account. And like I said, there's two sides of this argument. But as a person who finds it very frustrating, I also, like I said, I would love to see more teams try it out. Like, I don't think we see teams try it out now. I don't know if they are trying it at practice and it's not working, but I think teams need to find a way to make it work. Because realistically, if more teams can make it work and can utilize this, then it won't be as frustrating because you can do the same thing to the Eagles. Like, I don't think the Eagles have never seen a team try to do the tush push. I don't believe we've ever seen that.
It'd be hard to do it against them anyway with Jalen Carter and all that.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, why not try?
Yeah, but it's because they can't do it. I don't know
why.
do so differently, but they are so good at it, and it all starts with the center. So,
yep.
Obviously, the new center who learned from Jason Kelsey is going to be great at it, just because you're learning from a all-time great.
Yeah,
Jason
exactly.
Kelsey, Hall of Famer, but. Yeah, like I said, I don't see any reason why this even should have been an issue. I don't know why I don't know why it got 22 votes. It needed 24 to be passed, and it got 22, which is absurd. I don't know. I just think I think the whole situation was stupid. there's no reason to get rid of it. Just because, like I said, one team can run it, and one team's quarterback squats 600 pounds, and another team's quarterback squats 300. You don't get rid of it for that reason. So that's all I got on that.
No, I mean, yeah, I feel like we covered that pretty well. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think there's too much more to add. Like I said, I'm excited to see if we can maybe have other teams try it out this next season. If not, the Eagles are going to continue to utilize that, and they could possibly go back to back.
I think the Eagles' first play of the year this year should be a tush push.
Yeah, they received the kickoff 1st and 10,
First
get
play.
tush push. Yep.
Yep, I think they should, just to set the tone. You know what I mean? I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that would be
So,
funny.
Yeah. So that's really it for the football segment. So right before we move into basketball, I want to mention something real quick. Ronald Acuna Jr. I don't know if you've been seeing this lately. I posted it on our story. Ronald
I did
Acuna
see
Jr.
that.
tore his ACL last year. He was out pretty much all last year, and however how many games we're up to now. His first pitch back in over a year, he hits the ball 467 feet.
That is insane, dude. That's crazy.
He is. If he would played all season, he would definitely been a front runner for MVP. But obviously, those 50 games he's missed it's gonna be tough.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
But just his presence makes the Braves just 10 times better team. He's one of the best players in the MLB. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that just because it's insane. He actually hit another home. He hit a home run the day after. But yesterday. He went 1 for 5 with 3 Ks, which obviously you're gonna have them games. So I'm looking forward to seeing how he does the rest of the season. So all right, so we're gonna be moving into NBA, but before we get to the playoffs, we have something very serious we would like to bring up, and something that happened over the past week that I strongly disagree with. I don't know if do you strongly disagree with it?
Completely disagree with it.
Completely disagree. All my Thunder people won't. So, when was it? Was it Wednesday? Something.
I believe it was Wednesday, yeah.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was announced the league MVP over a guy who averaged a triple-double, over a guy who shot the ball over 57%, and over a guy that just makes a whole team just play absolutely lights out. If you take Nikola Jokic off the Nuggets, they are a lottery pick team at best.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So I think that Nikola Jokic got absolutely snubbed of the MVP, and I know you want to say something right now, so it's all yours.
Yeah, so, like you said, if you take Jokic off the Nuggets are a bottom 3 team in the league. And something to back that up with Shai on the court, the Thunder have the best, as a team, they have the best plus minus in the NBA. If you were to take Shai off the Thunder, they would still have a top 3 plus minus in the league. So they would still be a top 3 team in the league. With Jokic on the court, the Nuggets, plus or minus, is, I believe, a top 5 team in the league. Without Jokic, the Nuggets are the second worst team in the NBA. That's not me just saying that because of my opinion. That is literally statistics. Yeah. Without Jokic on the court, the Nuggets are the second worst team in the league based on plus minus.
Yeah, it's
like
Jokic. Jokic this season had a better season than what he had when he won the MVP the last 3 times. He averaged, like I said, a triple-double. How do you not?
A 30-point triple-double.
A 30-point triple-double. And I don't know if you've seen the difference in votes, but it was Shai Gilgeous-Alexander won by a landslide.
Yeah.
I think Jokic absolutely got robbed, and I know you'd like to say something about the voting system, from what I remember.
Yeah, no, voter fatigue, it's a real thing, obviously. That's why LeBron doesn't have 20 MVPs. Oh, that's, because he should have way more. But,
right.
Yeah, voter fatigue is, in my opinion, the pure reason why Jokic won. I think the MVP, if anyone doesn't know, stands for Most Valuable Player.
Yep.
In no world is Jokic not a more valuable player than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah,
Like,
and that's where it all goes wrong, just because of that's just not what it is anymore, which is unbelievable.
yeah,
They
exactly.
yeah. I don't. You might as well change the name of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think. I mean, listen. Like I know we disagree with the turnout of the MVP, but
Hmm.
we are not trying to diss on Shea at all. He is a
Yeah.
magnificent player. He's a great scorer. He's very efficient. He deserved to be an MVP candidate, but there's just no way statistically there's no way that he had either one a more impact, a better positive impact
Hmm.
than Jokic, and two that he played better than Jokic. Like obviously, yes, obviously the Thunder beat the Nuggets in the playoffs. It went to Game 7. The Nuggets lost. Whatever.
Yeah.
But Jokic, but the playoffs don't even matter for MVP, for any award nominations. Like it's the regular season. When was the last time someone had a 30-point triple double average for an entire season?
Oh, you know who it was? It was Russell Westbrook, and you know he won that year. The
The
MVP.
MVP,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, I know. And also, some people forget about this, but Jokic was one of the best 3-point shooters in the league as well.
Yeah. As a center.
As a center, like what are we talking
This
about?
should be his fourth MVP. And I want to get into something that really irritates me. So a couple episodes ago, you know how I said about all the SGA free throw merchant stuff I don't agree with.
Yeah.
Well, I've completely had a change of view on that. I can't stand when people say that SGA is he's the number one guy in the NBA when it comes to attacking the rim. There is obviously when you get every single call and nobody is I mean not nobody everybody is afraid to even be in the vicinity of you, you're going to drive to the basket because nobody wants to touch you, nobody wants to lay a hand on you, nobody wants to make contact with you because it's automatically a foul every time. And SGA has not done anything in this league yet to have a superstar whistle. He has won nothing. He's this is his first MVP. The Thunder get eliminated in the first round every year. SGA has done absolutely nothing for his whistle to be as worse as Michael Jordan's back in the day. And
Yeah.
that's what irritates me about it because he has the biggest whistle in the NBA by far.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's I don't think that's an
Mhm.
argument. That should not be an argument.
Yeah, there's no reason why he gets every single call, every game, and it's not even like I'm not cherry picking this past series. It's been an entire season worth of Shai
Yes.
Alexander sitting at the free throw line
Yeah, I
on
agree.
debatable calls.
And yes, and like you said, I'm glad you brought that up. Yes, a lot of people who defend Shea talk about how, well, for the past, now, I did see a thing. It's been the past 5 seasons that he's been, I think, the leading driver in the league.
Yeah, it has.
But like you said, well, one, Shea isn't that great of a 3-point shooter. Like, I would say he's a pretty
No.
average 3-point shooter. Like,
He
he's not.
lives by the mid range.
Yeah, he's not bad. He's not great. He's an okay shooter. So yeah, he drives more, but like you said, if he is getting these calls, I would be driving every play too. And guess what? Yesterday, whenever the Timberwolves blew out the Thunder,
Blew
I was
out the Thunder.
yeah, I was watching that game. It was the second quarter. Okay, I think there was 6 minutes left. Shea had 5 points.
Yep.
Guess how many times he was at the free throw line?
I think-
0.
Yeah.
0. He wasn't getting
Yep.
calls and he wasn't getting points. He was
Yeah.
not scoring because he wasn't getting those. Now, I mean, there's like different things you can say, like, well, that doesn't directly correlate. It may not, but that's something to look at. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, the whole foul baiting thing, I mean, there's always two sides of the argument, but I definitely feel like he he can be a foul baiter, and like there's so many there's so many freeze frames of the faces he makes whenever no one's even breathing on him. Like it's just I don't know, dude. I just obviously I'm not a Nuggets fan. I'm not a Thunder fan. I'm a Bucks fan. If you haven't figured that out by now from previous podcasts, I just love basketball. And to me, I think it
Right.
was a shame that Jokic didn't win the
Anybody
MVP.
who truly knows basketball and truly watches basketball, you could not sit here and deny the fact that a guy that averaged 30, 12, and 11, whatever he averaged, as a center, as a 6'10", 6'11", 7-foot center, there's shooting 58%. There is no reason why a guy like that should not only lose the MVP race, but lose in an absolute landslide.
Yeah,
Go,
yeah,
like
that's crazy.
like you said, voter fatigue is definitely a real thing, and it definitely showed this year. Now, obviously, not taking anything away from SGA, of it, he's a great player. He had a great season, but I don't think it compares to what Jokic did.
Hmm.
He put up a triple double. What more can you ask for him?
Exactly. And if you look at like if Jokic, now this is my opinion, and you would probably agree with me. If Jokic had 0 MVPs before this season, Jokic, this probably would have been an anonymous MVP vote.
Yeah.
Like I think Jokic would have, without a doubt, won this year.
Mhm.
Even if he only had one,
Yeah.
I think he would have won it.
Considering he's won 3 in the last 5 years, I don't know, but it's it's stupid. MVP voting around all sports is just it's not right, and it's not going to be right ever again probably.
Yep.
So yeah, so I mean that's all I have on the MVP talk. I think they got it completely wrong.
Yeah.
Without hesitation, I will say I think they got it completely wrong. But they did what they did, and oh well, I guess.
Yeah, but there's
But
not
yeah,
much to be done now.
yeah. So this moves us right into the. We'll just start talking about the Thunder and Wolves then. Like you said, Shea had 5 points in that amount of time, 0 times at the free throw line. The first 2 games, I was like, oh boy, this is just gonna be we're gonna get a freaking Thunder and Pacers finals match. But after game 3, I'm like, hold up, because I was not expecting that.
Yeah, that was like you said, the probably most unexpected turnout that we could have had. I mean, like
They went one by
I think it was
41.
41, yeah, 41-point win against the Thunder.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like I mean, it's kind of like the Cavs, I guess, losing by 140 points to the Pacers the one game. But I mean, they were all already down. But I don't know, dude. That I was not expecting this. I don't even know what to say because it was that bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Ant had one of his games. Like when you have Ant and Julius Randle connecting like that, I don't think I don't know. It's
yeah, no, I think if the Timberwolves are able to play like that the rest of this series, I don't see why they would lose. Now, obviously, I don't believe the Thunder will play like that again. They played pretty bad, but yeah, I think this series is gonna be a lot more competitive if the Timberwolves are able to play how they did yesterday, and if the Thunder can go back to their prime play style. Um, yeah, I don't think that this is gonna be like a 4-1 Thunder, 4-2. I think we could see, 7 games from this series, and I
yeah.
hope the Timberwolves can take it
Dude,
because I would love to see Ant in the finals, but we'll see.
you could just tell after that game 2 interview how just locked in Anthony Edwards was.
Bro, that
And it
stare he
showed.
had. Did you
It
see
showed.
that?
I did. It showed. Anthony Edwards is locked in. I think after what they had to go through in OKC with everything on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, all the referees, dude. I think they truly just absolutely locked in, and to say, I would not be surprised if I seen a Timberwolves run the table and win 4 in a row. If they play like they did last night, there is no reason why they can't run the table on these guys.
Yeah. No, I'm excited for the rest of this series. Mr. MVP versus Ant-Man. So yeah, no, I really do hope that the Timberwolves don't let it go to a 4-1. I
Yeah.
would love to see the Timberwolves take the Thunder at least to Game 7, even if
I
they
think,
do
yeah.
lose. You know what I mean? Like
hmm
going that far.
I think the Timberwolves are going to win Game 4, but I also think the Thunder are going to bounce back and actually make it a game.
Yeah.
So, but I think the Timberwolves will take Game 4, which will,
hmm
I think if the Timberwolves take Game 4, there's going to be so much pressure on the Thunder to get Game 5, obviously, since it will go back to Minnesota in Game 6. So if the Timberwolves do take Game 4, I feel like the Thunder they have to win Game 5 in OKC. But yeah, this series is going to be very interesting the rest of the way, and I'm all for it.
Yeah. No. This is a very exciting series. Obviously, we're in the semifinals now, so the stakes are obviously very high.
Yep.
And everyone, like SGA and Tyrese Halliburton, Jalen Brunson, they're all chasing their first chip. So,
hmm
it's I don't know, dude. I think this is exciting. This is exciting. I mean, like I said, I would love to see Ant go to the finals, and it would be cool to see him win it all. But he's got to keep performing like he did
Yeah,
last night. And even the Timberwolves as a team, they shot very well last night.
they did.
They shot very efficient. And that's one thing the Thunder did not do. So if the Timberwolves can, keep shooting efficiently, and even their defense yesterday, their defense was
hmm
good. So if they can keep that up, I don't see why they
Yeah.
won't take this series.
And like about the Thunder, I will say the thing that does keep them from from doing this domino effect of you lose one game by 40, and then you're like, holy crap, then you go lose by 30 again. The thing that keeps them from domino affecting is their composure after these games. Like they're not like, if you watch interviews or you watch them walking off the court, they're not walking off with their heads hanging. They're walking off smiling like, this ain't us. We
Yeah.
know what we can do. But so I feel like that's what, if the Thunder do win, I feel like that the composure they have as a team and the willingness to bounce back after a loss like this is will take them a long way. But it's gonna be tough
Yeah.
to overcome that 41-point loss you just had. But if there's a team that can do it, I think it's the Thunder.
I completely agree.
hmm So, yeah. So that's it for this. I think I'm gonna. I was daring myself to do it. I'm gonna do it. Give me the Timberwolves winning the next 3 games.
Whoa, okay. Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
I don't completely disagree with that. I don't think that's crazy to say. Um,
hmm
so you think the Timberwolves are gonna go
The
and win four
Timberwolves are
two?
so dialed right now. They are so locked in. You can just see it on all their players' faces. They are tired of this SGA stuff. They're tired of refs taking over games for the Thunder. I think it's going to happen. And when it happens, can't wait to see you on here.
Yeah, no, that definitely will be exciting to talk about. Um, I don't, you know, I'm not gonna say the Timberwolves are gonna win the next three. I think we see the Timberwolves win the next game, and and then I think we're gonna see the Thunder take game 5,
hmm
so they'll be up 3-2, and then I think the Timberwolves win the next two back to back, and I'm gonna take Timberwolves in 7.
Yeah. So I got the T-Wolves in 6. You got them in 7. I like that. But, yeah. That's all we got for the Western Conference Finals. It's going to be a banger. Let's move on till the Eastern Conference Finals. And, I mean, I will say, I said in the last podcast, I said, It is one of those series I've never seen before where I wouldn't be shocked if the Pacers swept the Knicks, and I wouldn't be shocked if the Knicks swept the Pacers.
Yeah.
But I, if I, if you would have told me the Pacers would have been in this situation before the playoffs started, I would have said you're insane.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know where this came from, but the Indiana Pacers are the best team in the NBA right now.
Yeah, they're playing out of their minds. It's insane.
Out of their mind, dude. You have game one, Aaron Nesmith hit 6 threes in the last 5 minutes of the game.
Bro, I know that was insane, dude. And then Tyrese Halliburton shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It made it 10 times better that Reggie Miller was the one announcing the games.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Yeah, but dude, the Pacers, they have a freaking shot at winning the finals, dude. It's
I know.
Crazy.
I cannot believe it.
They're clicking on every single aspect in basketball. They are clicking on, whether it's defensive efficiency, offensive efficiency, switching on defense, getting rebounds, offensive rebounds, shooting the ball, shooting free throws, making your layups, making your double chance attempts, you know what I mean? Getting the ball in bounds, not having many turnovers. Dude, they're clicking on every single aspect of basketball, and this team is scary to watch right now.
Yeah. No, you hit the nail on the head right there. Like you said, going into the playoffs, the Pacers, I don't feel like we're projected to go this far or be this good, this dominant, whatever. But yeah, I mean, like you said, you wouldn't be surprised if the Pacers sweep the Knicks, and you wouldn't be surprised if the Knicks sweep the Pacers. So honestly, the thing is that the Pacers won these first 2 games in New York.
Yeah, that's the biggest
and now they're going back to and playing at home these next 2 games. So it's like you said, they could very easily sweep. But at the same time, this series can be so close, especially with how that first game was. I wouldn't be surprised if the Knicks win the next 2 games.
Oh, yeah, the Knicks can absolutely turn it around like that.
Exactly, yes.
Here's the thing about the game, too. The Pacers won by 114 to 109. Siakam had 39.
Yeah, that was
Halliburton
crazy.
Had 14.
Yeah.
So you're going to get play out of Halliburton. Even when you don't get crazy amount of points out of Halliburton, you get them out of Siakam, you get them out of Aaron Nesmith, sometimes you get them out of Miles Turner, and even Andrew Nembhard. So, dude, they have what it takes to win. Here's what I think separates the Pacers from all the teams in the NBA right now is their ability to run the court, and they're so conditioned enough to run the court all game. So, I mean, you would think the Knicks are too, but it doesn't seem that way. No, obviously the Knicks are. The Knicks' transition defense is very well. It's very good, which is stopping them a little bit. But for the Pacers taking 2 games in New York is unreal.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that at all.
Yeah, I wasn't either. I mean, the thing is with Tyrese Halliburton's shot that sent it into overtime, bro. If his toe would have been an inch back, that would have been a game winner, right there.
Yeah.
So,
or if it hit off the rim an inch to the left, that. The fact that went in is.
Yeah, that was insane. So, realistically, you could argue the Knicks should have had game 1,
right?
But that just shows you how good the series can be, especially if the Knicks can win. They play tonight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if they can win tonight, dude, then it's gonna turn the whole story around. We could.
I'll tell you what. Game 1 was interesting. The Pacers had no business winning that game, but then the Knicks had no business even winning that game. It was weird. They were up 14 with 2 minutes and 35 seconds left.
Yep.
They're up 14, and the Knicks. That's just what the Pacers do. They've done it all playoff long. That's their 3rd comeback, being down over 15 in the NBA playoffs. Now 2 of them were against the Cavs, but that's even more impressive.
Yeah, I know.
So
no, for sure.
But being down 14 with 2 minutes over 2 minutes and 30 seconds left and winning is crazy. And now, if you're a Knicks fan or a Knicks player, you're in a really bad spot right now.
Yep.
You're in a really bad spot, and they cannot let Indiana win this game tonight, because if Indiana wins this game tonight, I believe they sweep them.
Yeah, no, I mean, no team's ever come back down 3-0, so.
Yeah. And, I mean, even if, I think the Pacers are going to take this series, dude.
I think they will. The only
Yeah.
way I don't see the Pacers taking it, if the Knicks have to win these next 2 games. If they do not win the next 2 games, they are losing the whole thing.
Yeah. Karl Anthony Towns needs to start playing basketball, dude, because he
Yeah.
is, I don't know what's going on with him, but until he starts playing basketball, this team has no shot. Because
Jalen Brunson can't carry the team. He does need a little bit of help.
You're not going to get any valuable minutes out of Mitchell Robinson other than rebounding.
Yeah, yeah.
You have Karl Anthony Towns has to be present, and like the scoring. I mean, obviously Brunson's going to do his thing. Brunson had 2 great games. He had 35 in game 2, and he had 40 in game 1, I think.
Yeah, I believe so. Yep.
But he's just not getting any help. I mean, Josh Hart had 6 points in game 2. And then you had Anunoby at 16. So if you just get Brunson a little bit more help, which they absolutely can.
Definitely.
Karl Anthony Towns, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, and Josh Hart can go for 25 points whenever they want.
Mm-hmm.
But until we see it in the playoff in this round,
they are not winning.
Spot.
Yep, I completely agree.
Yeah. Yep. So I mean, with that being said, I think the Pacers are going to sweep them.
Yeah, I mean, I think we could see the Knicks take 1 maybe. Like I said, if the Knicks want a chance at winning, they have to win these next 2 games. Realistically, I don't see that happening, especially because it's in Indiana. So I'm going to say Pacers in 5. Knicks will win either tonight or they'll win game 4.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm taking Pacers in 5.
Now, don't get me wrong. I would still love to see the Knicks to win.
Yes, I would too.
I don't know what it is, but I like the Knicks. I like Brunson.
Yep.
Which I'm also starting to lose a little respect for him, because if I'm losing respect for SGA on what he's doing, I can't sit here.
Yep, Brunson does the same thing. Yep.
Does the same stuff, but it's just, I feel like his game's just more respectable.
Yeah.
Did you see what he did the other night, though? So he was going down the court, and the Pacers guy was on him. Brunson literally grabbed his arm, the Pacers guy's arm, and hit himself in the face with the Pacers guy's arm.
I did not see that. That's terrible. That's terrible, dude.
Yeah, it was. But so overall, I have the Pacers winning this series, and then I had the Timberwolves taking the next 3 games from the Thunder, which would be legendary if that happened. So I got the Pacers and Timberwolves in finals, which is unexpected to say the least.
But exciting. Now that we're at where we're at, knowing how the 2 teams are and how they've been playing, that is an exciting matchup, and I think it'll be a good finals matchup, I believe.
Yes, for sure. So obviously, since we only got 4 teams to talk about, these podcasts are going to be a little shorter.
Yep.
Rather than having the whole playoffs to talk about. So that's, unless you want, I got an idea. We're going to do another schedule thing, but we're going to do it with our college teams, just so something gives us one more thing to do.
All right.
All right, so that's it for the NBA playoffs. We're just going to do one more thing just for fun, just to have fun doing it. I'm going to predict Ohio State's schedule. Alex is going to predict Penn State's schedule, being a Penn State fan, and we can predict with each other. So
all right, that works.
State's schedule. Now, obviously, before we start, there's a great chance that I have Ohio State going undefeated, but it's warranted. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I gotta plug my laptop quick.
All right.
Oh no! My laptop fell.
Okay. Yeah. So we're just gonna do. This is just for fun, you know. We didn't talk about this at all. Just figured it'd be something cool to do.
I gotta
Because why
I
not?
gotta pull up their schedule. I don't have it.
I can read it to you if you want, or do you got it?
Oh, you got it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
All right, you want to do Ohio State's first?
Yeah, that works.
Okay, so Ohio State. Week 1, the big talk in college football, you got Texas.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ohio State's going to win the game, but let me give you a little bit more things. So, like I said earlier in the podcast, you got Ohio State coming off a national championship win, their first game back in the shoe since that. You're hosting Texas, one of the probably a top 3 in like odds to win a national championship this year. You got Arch Manning's first game coming into the shoe.
Mm-hmm.
You got obviously Jeremiah Smith, Caleb Downs. This Ohio State team is just going to have a fire. Obviously Texas will too, just because they got eliminated by Ohio State last year. But I think Ohio State just has more firepower than Texas. And I think Ohio State does end up taking this one. So I'm going to go 1-0. Obviously, week 2, you got Grambling State. That's 2-0.
Yep, I agree.
Week 3, Ohio, 3-0. And then week 4 is kind of interesting because they're at Washington, so it's going to be something Ohio State's not used to. It's going to be like a 10:30 kickoff probably, it's going to be nighttime in Washington. Obviously, Washington, they're bringing in Ohio State. It's going to be cold. It's going to be rainy, but give me Ohio State.
Yep.
But that'll be an interesting game. Kind of like last year when Ohio State played Northwestern. It was close for a little bit of the game. They played at Wrigley Field. It was interesting. All right, and then you got Ohio State, Minnesota. Give me Ohio State at 5-0. Ohio State at Illinois, which I think Luke Ottmeyer is still there, I think. So he's pretty good, but I got to go Ohio State. Now, Ohio State, Wisconsin, this game, I'll probably be a little nervous going in this game, going into Wisconsin. That place is always going crazy. I'd imagine it's probably going to be a nighttime game, but like I said, I think Ohio State just has too much firepower and too good of a defense to lose a game like that. And then we get to little brother. Ohio State and Penn State.
Sorry, I didn't want my laptop to die.
No, you're good. So we got Ohio State, Penn State. Ohio State's going on 9 in a
Yeah,
row.
Penn State wins. Yep, pretty much. Yep.
Anyway, I got Ohio State beating Penn State. I just don't. Drew Aller has yet to prove that he can provide for the team in big games against huge opponents. So until he shows me that, I'm choosing against him. So I'm getting Ohio State at 8-0 to make it 9 in a row.
Yeah, I'm saying 8-1.
Yeah, you probably would too.
Yeah.
And then you got Ohio State at Purdue. Last time Ohio State played not last time they beat Purdue, but I remember something crazy that happened a long time ago at Purdue. It was not good, but I'm going 9-0 Ohio State. And then I'm excited for this game. Ohio State against UCLA. Nico Iamaleava, he transferred from Tennessee to UCLA after getting absolutely killed in the playoffs by Ohio State in Tennessee. Well, not in Tennessee, in Columbus, but when he was at Tennessee. So that game's going to be interesting. Nico Iamaleava coming back into Ohio State and putting on another crappy performance again. Give me the Bucks at 10-0. And then Rutgers 11-0. And then the game. If Ohio State didn't beat Michigan last year with the team Ohio State had and the team Michigan had at Columbus, I don't know how they beat them this year, but I will say I believe Ryan Day finally winning the national championship, finally getting that big win, is going to put another fire under his butt, and he is going to actually coach. because this is Ryan Day's problem. Whether you're an Ohio State fan, whether you're a Michigan fan, you have to agree that when Ryan Day coaches against Michigan, he doesn't coach to win, he coaches not to lose, and that's what gets him in trouble every year. But I feel like how he opened up in the playoffs against these big teams, I think Ryan Day's finally going to coach. He's going to coach to win and not to lose. So I think Ohio State snaps Michigan's win streak, and Michigan does not win 5 in a row. Give me Ohio State at 12-0, and we'll stop there because I think I don't know. It's probably gonna be Ohio State, Oregon in the Big Ten championship. So
we'll have to see how this season
all right,
goes.
so I got Ohio State at 12-0, which you can't say it's biased because it's Ohio State, dog.
No, I don't think that's
You know what I mean?
crazy at all.
So-
yeah, no, definitely not.
Yeah. All right,
All right, let's do Penn
on
State.
to
Let's
little
do it.
brother.
All right.
All right, so I got the schedule here, all right?
You go ahead, read it off.
All right, week 1 at home against Nevada, obviously.
Dub.
I'm going to give them a dub. Week 2 at home against FIU. I got FIU. I'm just kidding. I'm just playing.
Okay, all right. 2-0.
Yep, 2-0. And then you go at home against Villanova. Didn't even know they had a football team, honestly. I thought it was just basketball.
3-0.
3-0. Week 4. You're at home against Oregon. Alex,
What? Tell
I'm
me.
going Penn State.
Oh,
Because-
okay.
If it should be, there's no reason it shouldn't be. If this is their whiteout game, which if it's not Happy Valley, Sad Valley, whatever you call it, needs to go crazy, needs to freaking write petitions, need to do everything. There is no reason why this should not be the whiteout game.
I agree.
But if it is, you can't vote against Penn
Yeah,
State
no.
on this one. 'Cause Oregon,
Yeah.
they're going to have a quarterback who's never really seen the field yet coming into an environment like that. I don't think that's going to go well for them. So Penn State's 4-0. And then you're at UCLA. I'm going to go Penn State 5-0.
5-0.
At home against Northwestern.
6-0.
Okay. And then you're at Iowa. Now this game, obviously, Penn State and Iowa, they tend to have good games. I don't know why. It just tends to be always a great matchup. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go Penn State 7-0. And then
I
Penn State
agree.
at Ohio State. So obviously I had Penn State losing to Ohio State.
I
just
have them
because-
winning.
Do you?
Yeah. Listen, dude. I
Alright.
think
Now,
this
hold
could
on,
be
hold
our
on, hold on.
year.
Well, that's what I was just gonna say. I mean, listen. I am happy that you're a typical Penn State fan because that's what they say every year. It's our
No,
year.
no, listen,
Alex,
listen.
you say this every year. Every Penn State fan says the same thing every year. That this is our year, and until you don't see James Franklin on the sideline, there is no "this is our year." So, with that being said, this is not your year. Penn State is going to have their typical 11-1, 11-1, 10-2. They'll squeak into the bottom of the playoffs. They'll probably end up playing some crappy team. Actually, after this, I'm gonna hit on something real quick. They're probably gonna play crappy teams, and they're gonna play a real team, and then they're gonna lose. So this is not Penn State's year. Sorry that you just had to sit through that, but
All right, we can
Okay.
move on now.
moving on.
Yeah.
Indiana at Penn State. Indiana's, I think they're really depleted.
Yeah, Penn State
I'm gonna go
all day.
8-1. Penn State at Michigan State. I'm gonna go Penn State at 9-1.
Mm-hmm.
Penn State at home against Nebraska. I'm gonna go Nebraska here. Penn State,
Yeah, okay,
9-2.
listen. Even if it's not our year, you think we're going to lose to Nebraska?
Dude, Dylan Raiola is going to be a problem this year.
Yeah, so
Dylan
that's where you're
Raiola is
wrong. The
going
Penn
to
State,
be an issue.
yeah, well, not big enough to where
You
we're
know
going
what?
to lose.
I'm marking my calendar. On November 22nd, that will be a Saturday. On November 23rd, I am going to be very excited to see you in here after Penn
Okay,
State dumps
alright.
one to Nebraska.
All right.
All right.
Sounds
and then
good.
last game of the year at Rutgers. Give me a
Dub.
win. Penn State 10-2 squeaks into the college football playoffs, gets first rounded. Okay.
Yeah, guys, 11-1.
That's our schedule predictions just for fun. What I wanted to hit on is college football just came out and said that obviously your conference champions will get in, but the first 4 seeds are not going to be conference champions. It's going to be whoever's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's not going to be. Actually, I don't think there's any guaranteed. So Alabama was number what? They were number 12 last year and they got booted. If they were number 12 this year, they would get in. So it's obviously you want to win your conference, you get, but it's straightforward this year. No one's guaranteed a top 4, which I love, but that's pretty much all I got for that. I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, no, that is cool. I like that.
So I got Ohio State 12-0, probably going back to back. Penn State 10-2, 10-2, 11-1. You can argue either way, but yeah, that's pretty much it for today.
Yeah,
It's a good episode.
I think obviously especially after the NBA playoffs kind of come to an end, we'll probably be talking more about up and coming NFL, college football stuff,
fantasy football,
fantasy football.
Like
yeah, fantasy football's always fun. Yep.
All right, so that's pretty much all we got today for episode 4. It's been a blast. I hope everyone has a good day, and we'll see you next Sunday.
Yup. See you guys.